NewsX World. Let's take a look at some of the top stories this hour. In Kashmir, Pakistan Army posts open fire along the line of control, triggering a response from Indian troops. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expresses deep anguish over the Pahalgam terrorist attack, calling it a tragedy for every citizen. Several people have been killed and others injured after a vehicle rammed into a street festival crowd in Vancouver. Police say the driver is in custody following the incident near Fraser Street and East 41st Avenue. Iran and the United States agree to continue their nuclear talks, with discussions expected to resume next week. Trump signals confidence in a deal while Iran insists on maintaining uranium enrichment and defensive capabilities. Iran and the US agree to continue nuclear talks, with discussions expected to resume next week. Trump signals confidence in a deal while Iran insists on maintaining uranium enrichment and defensive capabilities. US President Donald Trump criticizes his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin on Truth Social amid war mediation efforts. This may suggest a shift in his position following a quote-unquote historic meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky before the Pope's funeral. Zelensky also holds talks with French President Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni after meeting with Donald Trump. Leaders discuss progress towards a peace deal and commit to continuing efforts to end the war in Ukraine. Leaders make final campaign speeches in Canada's federal election, where US President Donald Trump remains a strong factor. Polls tighten as young Canadians lean towards Conservatives despite the Trump threat. President Trump demands that American military and commercial ships travel through the Panama and Suez canals free of charge. The US President directs Secretary of State Marco Rubio to address the issue immediately. Our top story today: tensions are escalating once again along the line of control in Kashmir. Overnight, there was unprovoked small arms firings from Pakistani posts, especially in areas like Lipa and Neelam valleys. Indian forces responded firmly, though no casualties have been reported. This comes on the heels of the terrorist attack in Pahalgam on April the 22nd, which has left the entire nation in mourning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep anguish, emphasizing the country's unity as its biggest strength in the fight against terrorism. He assured the perpetrators and conspirators would face the harshest response. In retaliation, Indian security forces have demolished the homes of 8 terrorists across the Jammu and Kashmir region. The National Investigations Agency will now lead the probe into the attack. Security operations are now underway in multiple districts, including Tral, Anandnag, Pulwama, Kulgan and Shopian. Meanwhile, Iranian President Massoud has declared support for India in its battle against terrorism. And just days ago, Iran offered to mediate between India and Pakistan. In a significant diplomatic move, India has cancelled all existing visas for Pakistani citizens. Medical visas will remain valid until April the 29th. We now move over to North America, where we're getting some breaking news from Vancouver, where a tragic incident has unfolded at a street festival in Canada. Local police report that a car was driven into a crowd during the annual Lapu Lapu festival, which celebrates Filipino culture. Several people have reportedly been killed and multiple others are injured. Authorities confirm that the driver is in custody. The incident occurred on Saturday evening at around 8 p.m. local time. The Vancouver Police Department is investigating the situation and has promised more details as the probe continues. Mayor Ken Sim expressed his shock and sadness, offering his thoughts to the victims and the Filipino community. British Columbia Premier David Abe has also assured support for the investigation and for those affected. We stay in the region where Canada heads to the polls this Monday in a pivotal election that could reshape the country's political future. Mark Carney's Liberal Party is fighting to hold on to power against a surging Conservative movement led by Pierre Poilievre. To secure a win, the Liberals will need to draw the support from across the political spectrum, including voters abandoning the collapsing New Democrats, the Bloc Québécois and even the Greens. But there's been another presence looming over this election. US President Donald Trump and his return to the office south of the border has cast a long shadow across the campaign trail in Canada. David Perry, president of Canadian Global Affairs, summed it up, saying, and I quote, "President Trump tends to suck up all the oxygen out here." As the campaign enters its final hours, all candidates have delivered their closing speeches. The Liberals have governed since 2015, first under former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who stepped down earlier this year. Since then, the Conservatives have led in the polls by double digits until Trudeau's resignation and Trump's re-election shifted the momentum. Now, with the Liberals back on the rise, the stakes are higher than ever. The New Democrats risk losing official party status if they can't reach the 12-seat threshold. The Bloc Québécois, meanwhile, is fighting to maintain its stronghold in Quebec, defending a 30-plus seat bloc built up since 2019. It's an election that could redraw the lines of Canadian politics, and the outcome may rest on where the votes fall outside the traditional left-right divide. Let's take a listen in to what the leaders of each party had to say.
And we will back the trades, and we will make sure that any young person in this country that wants to get into the trades will be encouraged to do so, and we will tell them that the best jobs in the future are going to be in the trades. Boots not suit.
We can win this election with your help. You've all given so much, but I'm going to use my hockey analogy again. We are down to 2 minutes in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. We need to leave everything on the ice. So a few more door knocks, a few more phone calls, a few more conversations, a few more conversions. We want everyone possible to support us, regardless of which party they supported.
My message, first of all, to workers in potential negotiations going forward, I want you to know my number one priority is you. I'm going to be fighting to make sure you are the priority. We have often heard and seen in crises that it is workers who are asked to sacrifice. It's workers who are forced to tighten their belt, and I think that is wrong. It should not be on the backs of workers that we fight this trade war. And so my commitment to workers is I'm going to always put you first. My message to Donald Trump is, without any reason, without any provocation, in an illegal manner, you've attacked our country. But we're going to fight back and defend our interests. We are strong, we are proud, and we're